Things were going along, I thought, pretty well, and in July, my boss called me and said, I have to deliver really bad news. I feel so bad about this. This has nothing to do with your performance, but our business is not picking up like it needs to be. And at the time, there were 8 of us throughout the country, and he let 3 people go. And I was one of them because I was one of the newer people. So that was in last July. My name is Kusy-Eliassen, and I'm 54 years old, and I've been in the wine industry in various forms for since I got out of college. And I was able to get a job at one of the few wine stores in Eugene, Oregon. I worked there for about 5 years and became the actual wine buyer. And then after that, I started working in the wholesale side of wine. I did have a job in the wine business where I was national sales manager for an Oregon winery, and I traveled all over the country. That's what we had talked about earlier. So I was in charge of the entire country, the UK and Canada. I was working for a very small importer that imported Italian brands, and they were a very new company, now they're just 3 years old. It was slow going because there is a big glut of wine in the world, so a lot of people in the wholesale side already have plenty of wine in their portfolio. It was actually an ideal job for me. Unfortunately, their business just wasn't going strong enough. He did say that if things picked up, he would certainly rehire me, but it's now been since July and their business still is on the brink, kind of teetering. So we're seeing in the wine industry, people still are buying wine and drinking it, but they're drinking a lot less expensive wines. So that's impacted, just like everything. Thank goodness my husband has a good full-time job. In years past, he had some more part-time jobs, and I was the one that had to provide the health care and all the benefits to our family. Thank goodness he's got a good job. We're used to having more income than we have now. We've discovered that we can live quite a bit more simply. We don't live extravagant lives anyhow. So the way it's impacted me now is we've cut back on pretty much anything that's extra. We can provide food, and we've got one daughter only who's in college now. And so we're doing fine, but I love to work. I love to be active and busy. So I'm looking every day, which keeps me busy. Well, there's a number of excellent websites that I've looked at that are geared towards the wine industry. So those websites have been very helpful. And then I mentioned networking. I've done that a lot. Again, I know a lot of people in the industry, and I've got actually 2 interviews coming up this week, partially because of the people that I know in the industry. And the frustrating part is when you don't hear back anything. It's the surprise part is if someone gets back to you and says, thank you for getting in touch with us, but we don't have a position right now, or your skills don't match what we're looking for. That's the frustrating part, if no communication. I do feel a bit like I'm not giving back to society. I want to work. I don't like getting unemployment benefits. I also feel that that's been actually a positive experience in some ways, because now I know how people feel. I've never been in this situation before. I can relate to what's going on out there, and I'm educated, I'm knowledgeable in my field, and I still don't have a job, and it's frustrating, but I'm feeling positive now because I feel like things are turning, and for me personally. I think I read the papers, I know what's going on. I think that we still have a long ways to go, but I think things are getting better.